Good morning and welcome. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason on this Tuesday. I hope it finds you well out there. Our toll-free number, 800-951-0592 to buy your gold and silver. Take advantage of the price corrections. We'll update today. Are we done with the price correction, or is there more to go? We'll give you the technical points to that. The government shutdown continues on, so we don't have a lot of data. You know, this would be a pretty big week, right? It's the end of the month. We're not going to get a lot of jobs data. We got some early today from ADP. They've kind of changed the formula, if you will, so we'll give you that. We had a credit downgrade of the United States today. We'll talk about who that was. It wasn't one of the U.S. Big Three. We're waiting for the Fed, so tomorrow we all expect another 1/4 point rate cut. We'll see how that shakes out. That is coming tomorrow. We have a meeting with Donald Trump and Xi Jinping. That is on Thursday. Who knows? He may even meet Kim Jong-un. He says, listen, I'm in South Korea. I'll go to North Korea, so we'll see. I don't know. And then, I don't know. Are people going to get their food stamps or not this week? And of course, paychecks go out again this week for the government. So things, we'll see. We'll see. So a lot of we'll see and a lot of we don't know, right? And that's a tough place to be. I think the one thing that we're pretty certain of, they're going to cut rates. I think that's probably the one thing we can say factually about what's going to come. Everything else speculation. Again, our toll-free number 800-951-0592. ADP saying that we're creating a little over 14,000 jobs a week. So they normally say, hey, how many jobs for the month? I don't know. They came out with jobs for the week today, saying about 14,250 jobs per week. Obviously, that's not great by any means, but at the same time, it's actually better than it was last month, because last month was a negative number. So things, I would say this number, you could understand a possible rate cut, right? Because that, of course, this isn't a government number, right? Remember, the government numbers are not negative. But in any event, I guess this will be the only data that we're going to get for the jobs numbers because, like I said, the government, well, it's shut down. So apparently a lot of people like it shut down, because then you don't have to, worry about any of the data that's coming back. But after 2 months of decline, ADP saying a positive number for, I guess this is technically an October number for ADP. 3 of the last 5 months have been negative, according to them. And you got to remember, they don't count government jobs. It's just private jobs. But essentially, pretty flat on the jobs. I think that's probably accurate, right? There's not a lot of hiring and firing. I mean, the layoff notices are still way up, but not, right? We haven't seen jobless claims spike out of control when we were getting them. And then the European rating agency Scope downgraded the United States, saying that, hey, they shut down wages on debasement talk, down to AA-. that was from AA. They did say the good part, if there's a good part in a downgrade, instead of it being the outlook being negative, they're saying the outlook is stable. Obviously, the agency pointed to persistently high federal deficits. Listen, October's going to be an ugly debt number. I don't know. Do we get a debt number if the government's close? I think we do. I don't know. But I know it's not going to be good. The reason is September, we got pretty lucky with the way the calendar fell. So there's going to be hundreds of billions of dollars that go into October. And as you know, we're already above $38 trillion. They're saying that the growing public debt to GDP, which they expect it to be 140% by 2030, well above most sovereign peers. So that would put the United States, in the top 5, and maybe top 7, somewhere in that neighborhood, worst debt to GDPs. The extension of the tax cuts, the high share of mandatory spending, limits any flexibility in the budget near term. So blah, 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 blah. Just a matter of time, right? I got a feeling most fiat sovereign debt is getting ready to be downgraded. Patriot Radio News Hour, Joe and Jason. We'll be right back. 800-951-0592. Joe and Jason on this Tuesday. Quick look in at the market. Right now, the Dow's up 240. The S&P's up 5. The Nasdaq's up 67. Right, and, the mag stocks really driving it here. Apple now above $4 trillion for the very first time. It's been a weird Wall Street. Very, very rich, but hey, when money's cheap and getting cheaper, I think it goes higher. I do. I could be wrong. This bubble, listen, they're going for the bubble, the biggest bubble they could get. I guess at this point, why not? Right? Why not? Right? What other choice do you have? Right? I guess don't raise rates. I think even just leaving rates unchanged, right, would let all the air out. Might as well, let's just go for the big stuff. The 10-year note, 3.99, so it's back below 4%. When we look at gold and silver, yesterday, right, gold and silver did not hold the supports we wanted them to hold. 4,000 gold, right, $48 silver, well, I guess $47 silver didn't hold, but today we got some interesting moves. We got silver up right now, 46.90. We need to see silver really, to say that it's over probably 47.5. $47.5, $48. But today we did hit some technical, and I guess you got to pay attention to it because the computers are doing the trading right now. This 38% retracement, blah, 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 technical, this, that. We did it on both gold and silver. Gold, right now, gold's down 20. And that may be big. We'll see how it finishes here. 39.60 got all the way down close to 38.50, which was a big technical level. But we got to really look at December because most of these technical things go on not on the spot price, but on the contract prices. So silver right now in New York is $47. So it's kind of Are we there yet? No, but getting close. We will see how silver reacts the rest of this week. And then gold, $39.67. And, of course, obviously for gold, we want it back above 4,000. But I really think, you know what, Jason, we probably need to see 4,100 before we say, okay, the sell-off wave may be slowing down and we'll get to, I don't know, more regular moves of gold moving $20 or $30 versus gold moving $100 to $150. But right now, we hit some technical support. Both bounced off, but you can't say it's over yet. We've got to see gold and silver go a little higher here before we say, okay, the bottom may be it.
Yeah, and to tell you the truth, if silver just kind of slows down and just sits in these upper 40 levels, it's good, because the other couple of times it hit 50, it cratered. So just hanging around 46, 47, if we start going sideways, that would be good. I mean, gold's been extraordinary for almost 2 years, a year and a half plus. And we sat around that. Remember, we started doing Texacoin, 3 ounces of gold for your 9-pack. And we sat around that $3,300 range for quite a while, $3,350, $3,350, $3,350, right? And then it hit and then started jumping again. The fact that it's come back down to $3,900, it doesn't matter if you're a holder of gold. It's doing what it's supposed to be doing. And, I don't care if it goes back up, Joe. I mean, Joe wants it to go back up to show that the sell-off is over. But we could very well go back into a little bit of a plateau for a little while, and that would calm everything down just nicely, because the next time it needs to go up, it'll be ready to go. So who cares if $3,900 gold?
And I think the Fed cutting rates puts the floor in, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yes.
That's my guess, right? So my guess is I think the sell-off is probably going to be done here because of what I expect to happen tomorrow, which is not only a quarter-point rate cut, but I also think the ending of quantitative tightening, not that there's a lot of it left, but happening much faster than expected. Most people expected the little bit of tightening that was still left to go through the end of the year. I think that's off the table. It may end tomorrow, which would be all the support I think gold would need. The best case scenario, I guess, for tightening would be, okay, well, we're going to do it at the next meeting, right? It's going to be either this meeting or the next one. Those things depend. And then I think we're going to have to pay attention to, Trump's got his guys. Are they going to be dovish and essentially say, hey, we're going to cut rates again before the end of the year? This is what Wall Street expects. So if you're looking at what could maybe derail the Wall Street rally would be if Jay Powell comes out and tries to talk tough, then that could possibly derail it, right? Well, we're going to wait and see or this or that. I don't think so. I think Jay Powell's on pretty thin ice. And then Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, says Donald Trump will name Jay Powell's replacement before the end of the year. So I think they're setting Jay Powell up for, hey, if you're done cutting rates, then it's time for you to resign and not live out your term. Because remember, he's supposed to go till May. So very interesting that they're going to tell us here before the end of the year, here's who the replacement's going to be. And, of course, the 5 people they picked, Jason, they all want to take rates below 2%.
Well, I mean, when you leave a job, you're supposed to give 2 weeks' notice. I don't know what a ahead of the Fed is supposedly what's the
Well, I mean, we know
months?
he's done, right? I mean, he's not going to get reappointed, right? That we know. Donald Trump has made that clear.
I'm guessing
I don't know.
I'm guessing someone's already made these decisions, and I don't think Trump or our Fed chief Jerome Powell has any decision-making power there. I mean, I'm sure it has to be timed in the way that those that put those people in those positions want it to be done. So I guess it'll happen when it happens. I mean, who knows? Maybe they need to have they have to have an angry Fed moment, and then they get him storming out of the office. Which that guy storming out of an office wouldn't scare anybody. But I mean, you get the right camera shot. Jerome Powell storming out and hates Trump, right? I mean, you got these things ready just in case, right, Joe? You get to make markets move, right? So we'll see what happens.
It'd be very interesting if Jay Powell did resign. You would definitely get I think two things. Very possible that we'd actually get a Wall Street rally. And the reason I say that is now normally that would be bad, right? But the fact that they would know, man, we are going to print a ton of money now, getting rid of him, I think could lead Wall Street higher. Obviously, will lead gold and silver much higher by forcing him out. We'll see. I agree with you. I think he stays, and I think Jay Powell smart enough to say, you know what, but all right. What's one more rate cut, right? I can cut one more, two more, and, I won't get all of the blame for what inflation does. And again, as long as we believe that 3% inflation's mild, then it's okay, right? Just come out and say it. I would much rather the Fed stop messing around. Just say, hey, that 2% thing, we lied. We lied. We were, we didn't say lied, right? We were wrong, right? We were wrong. You know what? They can come up with any great BS answer. Think about it. Well, with the economy this big and deficits this big and a global blah, 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 and cis-boo bond and crypto and stable coins, inflation actually needs to be higher. And they would get Wall Street. You can get Jim Cramer. Oh, yeah. Booyah that, right? And do all that, hit all the buttons, make all the sound effects. And then that way, of course, we'd be cutting rates with mild inflation at 3%. Right? That would make total sense. Let's see. Whatever jobs number we got, this ADP, we're only creating 14,000 jobs a week. Okay, that's not great. By the way, inflation's mild at 3%. Hey, let's just cut rates. Matter of fact, Jason, you could probably argue that they should be cutting 50 basis points with that logic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're saying all this stuff, Joe, and everything that I'm seeing says don't cut rates. I mean, on both sides. The idea about cutting rates is that you're saving markets. But the markets are at record highs. So-called the companies that make the difference, they don't need a rate cut. Apple doesn't need a rate cut. NVIDIA doesn't need a... Look at Amazon today. Amazon, we fired 14,000 people. Why? Well, AI took their jobs. And, oh, by the way, we were being nice. We're going to fire another 14,000. We just didn't want to do it all at once. And inflation's not a good number. Now they're talking. It's what was that term you said yesterday? They have this new term for the new higher inflation rate as being kind of normal, or the new normalization.
No, but listen, they're saying it's mild.
Mild. There it is, mild.
Yeah, mild.
But mild means that they really shouldn't be dropping the rates because it's not good. I didn't hear that they're where we want them. Oh, this inflation numbers are lower than we want. None of that.
Listen,
So why, they shouldn't raise.
Well, you can't go to lower yet. You gotta set us up a little bit.
Well,
right?
Lowering rates is about destroying what's going on. I mean, literally, they don't have one side. They don't have one side to protect themselves on saying that this is a good decision. Both sides are now saying you shouldn't do it, and they're going to do it anyways. And I'd hate to be Jerome Powell too. I mean, it's tough to be the clown, the Fed clown. I mean, that's what the Fed chief is. It's the Fed clown. He dances and entertains the circus, which is Washington D.C. and the powered elite. And he's the jester. He has to wear the little bells on the hat, and it's like, hey, look at me, I'm really important. We're going to lower rates when everything tells us not to.
All of this nonsense. Oh, the Fed, it's independent. This, how they created it, how they fooled all of us, how they brought in the income tax with the Federal Reserve. There's a shocker, right? Could you imagine how great the economy could be with no income tax? How about with no FICA? We didn't have that crap either. Yeah, you actually got to keep what you earned. Now the government shut down, and Scott Bessent saying, well, you know what? We don't have enough money to pay the troops this weekend. There's troops that got to get paid on the 1st. Definitely don't have it for the 15th. And, oh, by the way, no one's going to get food stamps. What the hell? What happened? 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason here on this Tuesday. Silver, spot silver now, $46.95. So spot silver looking like it's going to go back above 47. As we really want to see $47.50, $48 silver, down 19. It continues to bounce off of its support, $39.63. I've got a mini sale. The girls don't even know about it. So, honey, can you hear me? Yes, you can hear me. I've got $10 Liberties. I know 10's not very many, I get it, but it's the price. They're $2,000. $2,000. I got 10 of them. That's cheaper than 20s. Right now, 20s, I got 20s at $4,095. It's just dirt cheap. I've got $10 Liberties, $2,000 at 800-951-0592. Continue to add to your portfolio. Rolls of Silver Eagles, $1,145 today. So that's almost $100 off from just a week. I don't mean to laugh. It's just crazy. This is what happens. Apparently, gold, like what I just said, because now it's only down $15 as it continues to move here. The Dow is now mixed, so I'm not sure if something changed or not. I don't see any. Yeah, it's just probably interday move. So I don't see any tweet or anything from the president right now. So we'll just kind of sit there and wait. Okay. Well, maybe this is gonna. Maybe it was this. John Thune. So he is the majority leader in the Senate. So he's kind of the guy, that's going to tell us, is the shutdown going to end and people get their food stamps? Apparently, no. Said there is no clear end in sight. Said there was a closed-door meeting with the GOP. John Thune pouring cold water on a plan that many Republicans thought could turn the tide, if you will. What they called a rifle shot bills to pay specific groups of federal workers, such as the military and air traffic controllers. So the Republicans were kind of, and my guess would be, hey, we'll pay the military, we'll pay the air traffic controllers. Yeah, because, boy, you do not want to be flying right now. Just plan on your flight being delayed. I'll just say that. If you got to fly, the longer this goes, I don't know. I think we're coming very soon to where air traffic controllers just don't show up to work. And kind of, I believe that's how the longest shutdown ended, I think, under Obama. I think the air traffic controller said, we're not going to come to work, and then they figured something out. But Thune said, no, we're not going to do this. The only way for the shutdown to end is for the Democrats to essentially agree to what the Republicans have been putting out there from the beginning. And Thune also saying, Jason, no food stamps if they don't.
Well, like I said, I said, I think it was it just yesterday? I was like, or maybe it was Friday. I said, well, I think they want to put their toe in the water for shutting down food payments just to see what kind of reaction starts in the early go. And so I think we have a shutdown into next week, into November, Joe.
Before the central banks, we didn't have any income tax. We didn't have any FICA tax, Social Security tax. Didn't have any food stamps. Didn't have any of that. Listen, and what, we got to quit acting like it was that long ago. It wasn't. Right? We became literally the global superpower before, I know, well, the Fed came in 1913. Well, give me a break, right? We built this country without them. I mean, we built it, everybody's ass in World War I.
We built it. Right? We built it in spite of the bankers.
That's right.
They tried for 100 years.
In spite of them, and they kept trying.
The 1800s was a war against these parasites, and in spite of their efforts to steal from us, we prospered as a nation.
How is this success? At any level, any person, like I always say this. I really think hundreds of years from now, people will probably be like, oh, my God. America was maybe the greatest superpower. Were they even better than Rome? Now, granted, back then it was different, right? You just invaded all these countries and took their lands, right? I mean, think about it today. If this was the Roman Empire, we would own all of North America, Central America, South America, right? We just have – no one would be arguing about what country Greenland belongs to, right? It belonged to us. Well, we don't do it that way anymore, right? Well, we don't do it that way.
In my opinion, it's been conquered, Joe. It's just not been conquered by a country with a name that's on a map. The bankers own all the countries. That's right. They own all the countries. And you said – How is this success? But it is success. It's just success for a small amount of people. Everybody else has to work to give them their success. That's the trick of it all. And a lot of people are ignorant, and they don't mind getting in the rat wheel every day and doing their part, their cog in the machine. And there is a weight to responsibility. I mean, I'm not being one of these guys that owns everything and has to make all these decisions. They're the ones that are nervous and paranoid the whole time that the whole world citizenry is going to figure it out and go pitchforks and torches against them, right, Joe? They're the ones that live with that stress. The general population is just trying to make enough money to, have a beer in a football game. But it is tough though when you don't have the money. Somebody's taking your money. Being ignorant doesn't help when suddenly, I got medical bills that grandma's dying and this and that's happening. I got to get a car repair, and suddenly being ignorant. That's where it hurts you. Is I don't know how this happened. How did this happen? Well, if you don't take care of your money, somebody else will.
Yeah, we say it all the time. You got to be your own Federal Reserve. You got to be the steward of your money, because if you don't, this is what you get. You now get 3%. That's mild. Hey, let's cut rates.
By the new 1980 version of inflation, 3%.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, really, the new 1990 version, right? The 1980 version, it'd be like 6, maybe even 7.
7,
right?
Yeah.
Yep. You're going to need more income. We keep telling you, right? That's what tech support is for. Gold and silver, protect your wealth. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason. I had the mini special $10 Liberties. A whopping 10 of them. It beats none of them. $2,000. That's it. $2,000 a piece. You're saving a small fortune at 800-951-0592. Take the time. Keep adding to your portfolios. $20 gold pieces. They're in at $4,095. I mean, gosh, that's like almost $300 less than what it was when last week started. Right? I mean, it's just crazy. The whole market is absolutely crazy. But the Fed's going to cut rates, and we're all supposed to jump around and act like this is such a great thing. 3% inflation's mild, and it's so bad that the government shut down because this group of evildoers, and you can decide who the evildoer is, they want to spend more money. I mean, let's face it, why is the government shut down? They want to spend more money. What do they want to do? Well, they want to subsidize more stuff. Well, and really keep subsidizing. That's the thing. Here's the thing. This is kind of interesting. This isn't a debate about subsidizing more things. This is a debate about to continue subsidizing the stuff we've already subsidized, Jason.
Yeah, a loan on top of a loan. There are way too many entities that are subsidized. You have to be a really important person to get subsidies. The government doesn't give out to everybody. Well, I guess unless there's a COVID emergency, then they subsidize everybody a little check in the mail, right, Joe? Eventually, everybody gets a subsidy. But can you imagine the subsidies are going out to those other companies, those other entities during COVID? That the checks we didn't hear on the news, right, Joe? Subsidies. What a nice word it is to freebies to our friends.
Yes, subsidies. That
How about
sounds
freebies,
better.
Freebies to our friends. Let's call it freebies to our friends. If they called it freebies to our friends, suddenly everybody wants to be a friend, and then you find out how much of a friend you are to the government when you want your freebies. That's what happens. Elon Musk gets a lot of freebies. Bezos, he gets freebies. But it's different. See, those freebies are different, right? Because now Elon Musk is. Here's all you need to know. Honestly, why do you need to buy gold and silver? Why do you need to get more income? Because I already can tell you what is coming. Elon Musk is now saying, pay me $1 trillion or I'm leaving Tesla. And guess what? The guy on the board is saying, we got to pay him $1 trillion. Do you not understand? You have to pay Elon Musk $1 trillion. That's all you need to know, Jason. One thing about Elon Musk is once in a while he'll chirp out some honesty, right? Whether it's good or bad. But I heard him. I should try to find the clip, but Tesla stock is way overvalued. This isn't what it's. He said it out loud. It's like, this stock is way overvalued. The guy that they're giving $1 trillion.
I mean, they all are.
Well, but Tesla's way overvalued. I mean, it makes less cars than anybody else in the top 10, top 20 of car makers. Toyota makes by itself more cars than many cars makers on the list. But Tesla's way down there, and their valuation is bigger than the top 10 car dealers all combined. All the top 10 car makers combined have a value less than Tesla. And you have the guy that runs Tesla, supposedly, or at least the figurehead, saying, this is way overvalued. I wouldn't buy this stuff. I mean, when you say overvalued, that means don't buy it, right? That's the nice way of saying don't buy it. And then he holds them at ransom. I guess when he says don't buy it, I guess somebody freaked out and he's like, well, give me $1 trillion and maybe I'll stop talking about Tesla stock. I mean, that's what that probably is, right, Joe? And him exiting. You know what? Him exiting.
I don't know. Right? It seems outrageous. And then here's the funny part. The guy that runs the board is sitting there saying, dude, we need to pay him. I mean, that's what they're saying. We got to pay this guy. All you guys better agree or he's going to leave. And again, why does it matter? Why does Elon Musk need $1 trillion? You know why? Because he knows.
Does Tesla have $1 trillion? Where does that come from?
Does it matter? You know, well,
where does that
I don't
come
think they're going to pay him. I don't think it's $1 trillion a year. Okay,
no, it's one bag payoff. He wants it moved.
I'm not sure exactly. And I'm too lazy to read the whole thing.
I mean, where does that actually come from? I mean, what fake account does it come from, and what fake account does it go to? Or maybe that's the whole point. Maybe it's going to a real account, and it's like, well, we can't send that to a real account. We don't have real money. How do we keep this guy happy?
I think it just tells you. Money ain't what it used to be. And he's probably doing the math. You know what? Elon's not dumb. He's like, wait a minute. I'm already the richest guy in the world. But it's going to buy so much less. I got to get this amount so I can still be, the guy that has the biggest amount of FU money.
They shouldn't pay it, Joe. They shouldn't pay it. He's going to take that $1 trillion and go start his next fake company.
Of course he is.
And then Tesla's going to lose no matter what.
Yeah. You don't think you need more income? You haven't figured it out yet? 800-951-0592. The very last few $10 liberties. $2,000. That's it. At 800-951-0592. If you're not like Elon Musk and you can't go to your boss and say, I need $1 trillion, get into Texacoin and start generating daily income every single day. I gotta admit, it's insane. Do you know, when we first started, there's a guy that wrote this. I mean, literally, it was like a college master's paper on why Texacoin was no good. But it's all proven to be incorrect. Do you know we've raised now $110 million? There's some people out there, there's an SEC violation or they're going to be shut down. No, we're not. Do you honestly think the government doesn't know? Do you honestly think the AG of Texas, right? We've got billboards at every airport in Texas. We got billboards everywhere in Texas. Hasn't looked into it and said, man, there's nothing wrong here. Of course they have. And
Texas is also showing a face of super pro crypto right now. So you don't really want to step on a crypto company that's, all by itself building something on its own. So
Wait a minute.
You can't do that.
Nobody's actually complained. You've ripped off nobody, right? You're doing what you said. We did add something to the dashboard. It shows you now how much equipment we bought. We're almost at $3 million more equipment purchased than what we're ahead. And now that reflects that we are ahead. Of course, we need it to get online. I mean, that's the next big step. And it's coming here. I'm being told next week it is going to, the avalanche is coming. You look at the volume now. I remember the one guy said, they're on one exchange and they do $12,000 a day. This is nonsense. Well, we're on 7 now. Yeah, we just added another one. I didn't even know. I think they just added us. I don't even know that we added them. We do $1 million, 8, 7, 8, 500,000. I mean, a terrible day now is like $250,000 buying and selling. I was telling Jason this morning, every day, like for the last 6 or 7 days, there's people that liquidate $100,000 at once. They're not spreading. I'm selling it at market, and guess what? It doesn't even move the price. I mean, if they would have done that 6 months ago, right, the price would have cratered, right? There wasn't the volume to do this. Jason, I think it's a big testament when you think about 43,000 people have joined this. If you haven't joined yet, and I know but Joe, there's guys out there that said bad things. Yeah, but look at when they said it. 4 months ago, 5 months ago, 6 months ago. And then read what they said and then be like, well, God, it's not right. It's not what happened. I hope you guys, I don't know. You're telling me, hey, if 3% is mild and you're glad they're cutting rates and keep on cutting them and Elon Musk needs $1 trillion, I guess you don't need it. Right. But if not,